Did you ever have your mom tell you something 3 times and you knew you were in trouble? Especially if she used your full name, first, middle, last. Yeah. So today we're in Psalm 37. Good morning. This is Aunt Beth. Welcome to my lamppost. This is one of my favorite Psalms, Psalm 37. And when I'm having a really rough day, I read it. However, what I want to talk to you about today is essentially God calling our names first, middle, and last. Because 3 times in the first 8 verses, he says, do not fret. Do not fret. You know, when you rub 2 sticks together and you get enough heat to cause a fire, and the wood is like raw. And actually, that's what the Hebrew means to glow or grow warm. But it's interesting because he says, do not fret. I mean, he's serious about this. This word in this particular way is only used 7 times. 5 out of the 7, you're doing it to yourself. I thought that was interesting. But he says, stop, stop. That's what I used to tell my kids. That word rest is the only time it's used this way. It means to, let's see, I got my notes, to be dumb, astonished, and stop. Silence, peace, wait. So it cracks me up because I used to tell my kids, stop, stop, when they were racing headlong into doing something that was not good. They hated that, but they stopped. And God's saying the same thing. Do not fret. And it's interesting because he goes into trust in the Lord, do good, dwell in the land, and feed on his faithfulness. And I have to think, when I'm fretting, am I feeding on his faithfulness? The answer would be no. What am I feeding on? Worry, concern, fear, or the goodness of God. And it's what's interesting is that there's 2 types of waiting here. The words mean something slightly different. The first time he says to wait means to twist or whirl in a circular manner, to wait. So you're staying on your spot, but you're just sort of looking around, the 360 view, But the second time he uses wait is where it means to bind together, to collect, to expect. The straining of the mind in a certain direction with an expectant attitude. If we were being fashionable, we'd call it leaning in. So the second time he uses the word wait, he means lean into God. Don't fret yourself. Don't let your mind explode with all these thoughts, but feed on the faithfulness of God. So, from a family of champion warriors, that's a little tough, but it's God's prescription. So, anyway, I hope this encourages you. The sense of waiting is not going to sleep and wake me up when it's over. I think there's a song that's like that. Man, I can do that. It's an active sense of looking around for the answers and the promises of God to come. So So my challenge is if I'm fretting or feeding on his faithfulness. Have a fabulous day. All God's best.